There's golden light all around me. I'm in like a dome again with golden light.
How does it feel in that golden light?
Very weightless. Very freeing. I feel others around me. Let me see. Kind of like we're just all little sparklies. Flashing little lights.
Are you recharging, or are you all emitting this light?
No, it's like we're almost in a formation, like a kind of like in a okay, like the way that a band looks when you're up high in the bleachers and they do their formations and they're marching. We're all like, we don't have arms or anything, we're just little lights, but we're all linked up together like that. And we're in the shape of a lotus flower.
Together?
Like if
you guys make a lotus? Wow.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So you're like little orbs of light. Are you golden light, like the light that you're in?
So I don't know if the light is from us or if there's another light above us. I think the light's just coming from all of us together. Like an aura.
Do you know where this place is?
Where places and time don't exist. Like in the consciousness of everything.
Is there anything else that catches your attention around you? We're not the only flower out here. There's other, it almost looks like constellations. Like ours is the lotus flower, but not all the shapes are. And some are glowing, like different colors, like greens and blues. And are these other shapes, are they completely one color, or are they multicolored, or each shape is a separate color?
Each shape is a separate color.
What other shapes do you see besides the lotus flower in other groups?
Like some are leaves and some are trees and some look like a Buddha statue. There's a purple one that looks like a Buddha statue. And there's a blue one and it looks like a cross.
Are these ways of connecting to the divine or something, maybe?
Playtime.
Playtime?
That's what they said. This is playtime. Isn't that funny?
Oh my gosh, I'm covered with chills because it's like we play dress up with all this stuff. It's so clear.
That's what they said. Playtime.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. It seems like hang on. This is different aspects of myself.
Mm-hmm.
This is how we entertain ourselves in our consciousness.
Mm-hmm. So is awakening being more aware of these games we're playing in our head that we sort of doing unconsciously? Is that sort of what we're seeing here?
Awakening is coming into the knowledge that we can do these things.
Mm-hmm.
That we can and we do have playtime, and life should not be so serious.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm floating up from there.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I just expanded.
What do you see now?
Right now I just see all like a white light all around me. I feel like I'm floating up. Like they're taking me somewhere else.
Are you still just a point of light, like an orb, or do you have a body?
The light is bigger now. It's more like a fog, wispy energy, like plasma, maybe. Very bright and vibrant, though. Let me see if I can. There's like light pouring in from all over the place, though. Like these are others coming, and I can see other beings that look like me, the plasma, but it looks kind of like clouds moving around, and some of them are different colors.
Are they interacting with one another?
Sort of, kind of looks like they're dancing, kind of like we're all just kind of floating around and through one another and around one another. Very flowy.
Sort of swirling around like a really fluid energy.
It's like watching clouds dance around.
Yeah. Who are these separate entities? Are these just the souls of you and others like us, or?
This is familiar energy, like I know this energy. This is old energy.
You said old?
Like that. Like that Pleiadian energy, the Aquarian energy, that my hands are buzzing.
It's a familiar
and I feel
energy.
my grandmother. Yeah, very familiar. Like Mm-hmm.
Do you think your grandmother was from there as well?
Let me ask her. Absolutely. She's Pleiadian. She's the Pleiadian.
Very nice. Has she come through to tell you anything today?
Relax. Everything's going to happen exactly like it's supposed to. Worrying about it, trying to figure it out isn't going to change the end. Okay, we have to stay joyful, not necessarily always happy, because she's showing me like an angry face, like it's okay to get angry, but because that's human nature, we shouldn't look at this stuff and find joy in the brutality, but keep joy in our hearts. Oh my gosh, I've got chills all over. Keep joy in our hearts. Because when we keep that joy in our hearts, then our flesh and our mind, of course, can experience this frustration and this anger. But the joy in our hearts is what's going to transform all of this that we're seeing. We just all have to keep joyful. Like we view these things, because you almost can't avoid it at this point. So you may view it, but there will be a time when you can retreat from that and go into a safe place and sync up with that joy. That's what's going to keep the vibrations high. That's why the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, the other ones are here. That's why I feel all this energy, and why all those that we were dancing with and in the where we were, where all this energy was coming together, and we were all dancing together. That's all that joy linking up, all of us coming together with that joy.
So what about the people that look around and they think there's nothing to be joyful about? Isn't there something deeper and grander going on behind the scenes that we can't see?
Absolutely, yeah. Because there's a cleansing, a purification. Let me listen for a second.
That's good.
So this may sound scary, but they're showing me like LA, and they're showing me like the Hollywood sign even. So they're showing me all this stuff being destroyed. Like they're showing me all these monuments, or things that we identify with. Like they showed me the Space Needle in Seattle, Washington. I see the Washington Monument. They show me the Hollywood sign, and they're even showing me stuff in Louisiana. So the Alamo, wow. But these things are destroyed. It's like they're rubble. And saying it's got to be destroyed to be built back up.
So it's renovating.
It has to be torn down to the foundation, because the foundation is not pure. Not pure. And after it's all torn down, then we'll build it back up, and it will be built better and stronger, because the foundation will be pure. Okay, that's really weird. I just saw I don't understand a whole lot of astrology or astronomy, whatever it is, but I saw like the woman with the water pitcher. She's pouring water all over, like all that stuff that was rubble was like being washed away. So
a cleansing.
And
is that the time we're in right now? Is that what's happening right now?
The Aquarian age that everyone's buzzing about.
Can you look into the future at some of these areas, like where you see the Hollywood sign or the Space Needle, and see what the future looks like in those areas?
Let me see. So, everywhere that I saw stuff torn down, it's full of trees and nature, and it's
nice and green.
Okay, so they said the song, they paved paradise to put up a parking lot. All the parking lots are gone. It's all beautiful again. It's paradise again.
Wow. So it's that song in reverse. It's beautiful. So everything's green and lush and natural looking.
Yeah, natural. And the rains have returned. It just is, it's beautiful everywhere. All those places, like I feel like I'm above. This isn't, because they just showed me the Eiffel Tower too, so this isn't just, this just isn't in the States. This is
all over the world.
All over the world. It's like I zoomed out. It's everywhere.
Are we already in this transformation to that?
We're in this destructive stage. We're in that's why it feels so chaotic, because we're in that stage of destruction.
Debris removal and all that good stuff.
Yeah, they're tearing it down and blowing it up and all that other good stuff, but it's I see like a big stick of TNT. Like a cartoon style TNT. Yeah.
So if you're in it, it feels very destructive, but when you pull away from it, you can see that this is just progress. This is moving towards.
Yeah, because when you pull out of it, it's like I'm seeing like a timeline, like, but it's not like a dot timeline, like pictures timeline. Like you see all the rubble, all the dirt and the broken down buildings and all that mess, and then it's like all this stuff is just coming in and being moved away, the water being poured and washing all of that stuff away. And then where everything has been burned down and washed away, it's like bright green grass, kind of like after a fire, and the grass starts growing back. The grass is greener there. That's what it looks like.
Beautiful.
There is light.
Do you feel like your grandma's still with you?
She's still here.
Let's see if there's anything else she wants to tell you or show you.
This just isn't happening here on our earth. This is happening other places too. We're often so small-minded that we think it just happens to us. Whether that be in your own town, your own state, your own country. This is a multidimensional reality. This is happening definitely all over our solar system, but I get the feeling this is we're in a very big time. Bigger than we can even fathom. Things are happening. It's like I'm seeing universes and they're just stacked, not just galaxies, it's universes. And it's funny because the universes look like they're round. And that's what it looks like. This is...
Yeah, multiverse. Almost like soap bubbles.
Yes, exactly.
That's the little flash I got in my head. That's amazing when you think of it.
And many different timelines too. Not... But it feels like everything is coming together.
So it's not only the multi-universe, it's like layers, right? Is that what you're saying? Like different dimensional layers?
Yes. Like when you get, like they're trying to show me different perspectives. And it's like they're stacked out this way and they're stacked this way and we're stacked. It's just all over. But it's multiverses, but it's like the timelines are... So, okay, this is what it looks like the timelines, which just looks like almost like a sheet of glass. Each one of them looks like a sheet of glass, and they were stacked further apart at some point. I'll use the term earlier, but they were stacked further apart, and it seems like as we come up, they get closer together.
Like compress or collapse together more. Will they eventually merge at some point?
What they're showing me is that we are on the... That's kind of scary. We're on the top sheet, and there's not anything above us, like we're not, like this is the timeline. The end point almost is what it, like we're on the top sheet, whatever that means. We're on the top sheet.
These other sheets, are these different? Are we on those other timelines as well? Are we collapsing all of our experiences from all of our different versions into one, or something?
That's what it looks like. But so it's interesting because some of the timelines feels like each one of the timelines is almost like a certain era in history. Like I see a timeline that seems like they're still in the wild, wild west, like riding horses and that kind of thing. And then there's some that look like the Victorian era. There's even the ones further down look like ancient. And as we get higher, it seems like more technology to this point feels... The sheet that I'm on feels very technological. Like it feels even more technological than where we are yet.
Mm-hmm.
Because it feels very robotic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to make of that.
Are they showing us that things are going to get more techy before they get more naturey, or do we have a stage to go through?
See, that's... Hang on. Because before I saw the techie stuff, I saw us all, like, all beings, because there were other beings other than just humans dancing on that sheet of glass.
Mm-hmm.
But then standing here, I feel like it's very technological. So I wonder if they're not trying to show me that it's all in our perspective, or... Hang on. So just because there's one timeline that we're converging to doesn't mean that there's only one Earth.
Mm.
Or maybe we split from that. Let me see what wow, they're giving me a lot of stuff all at once. Like I'm seeing like Earth separating, and I'm seeing us dancing on this sheet of glass, and on this side it feels very techy. It's so much going on. So I don't know what they're... Maybe it's not about just one thing. It's all in our perspective.
Well, let's focus on the technology for a moment and see if it seems different than the technology we have. Could it be more
It does.
consciousness driven?
Yes, and that's what it does feel like. It feels, it doesn't feel scary to me.
Mm-hmm.
It feels, I know this sounds like an oxymoron, but it feels more like a natural technology.
Okay, well, I feel like it works more with our consciousness than a replacement for it, like they're trying to do
Yes,
on our current
yes.
timeline.
Yeah, it doesn't feel,
Mm-hmm.
it just feels very cohesive,
Mm-hmm.
very coherent with us. It doesn't feel
At odds.
hard or rigid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it works with our consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
more in harmony.
Mm-hmm. That's because it's of a higher consciousness. Okay, see, there we go. Now things are coming into better perspective. That's how we're able to rebuild so quickly, too.
Okay, so we'll have technology. It'll just be a new type of technology that
Yeah.
is probably cleaner and.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very, very clean. But without that help, and I still am feeling the Pleiadians, and very heavy the Pleiadians and the Octarians. And that may just be because those are my guides, and that's why I'm feeling that energy
Mm-hmm.
so strong. But I feel them very heavy, that something breaks away and we're able to communicate more fully. Maybe it's that we can raise that vibration to the point that we are able to meet them on a higher level,
Mm-hmm.
and they're able to share that technology with us. And that's why it does feel so harmonious, because it is that kind of a higher technology.
Is this technology that we already have on Earth, or is this technology that will be brought here from elsewhere?
It's technology. I was going to say it like they said. Your humans know of this, but they suppress this. That's how they said.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have any of it operating here at this time. There's knowledge of it, but
So there will be a time in the near future then when this stuff will be known and used and utilized to rebuild the earth?
They said time is irrelevant. I don't know. There's darkness before. And they're showing me like a vortex.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a time period of creation in this vortex? What is this vortex doing?
I don't know. It feels like it's pulling out darkness. Because it looks very dark in the vortex, but around us it seems very light.
It's almost like a black hole for darkness, like a cleansing vortex.
Like a tornado, though. It looks like a tornado.
Is it energetic though?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's not like a tornado, like
Mm-hmm.
dirt and debris and all that, but it just looks like dark energy swirling around, like it's being sucked up. That's okay. So there's like that dark energy vacuum over here, but over here it looks almost like a rain shaft, but it's golden light.
Mm-hmm.
So the light is being poured in and the darkness is being sucked up.
And that's our current now moment.
That's what's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we see all this destruction, because
Mm-hmm.
it looks like, okay, that's just weird. Honestly, what it looks like, it looks like, the wraiths from Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like them sweeping across the surface of the earth. And as they sweep across and they're being sucked up in this, they are leaving as much destruction behind as they can. Like they are trying to wipe out as much as they can because they're being sucked up.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what's very cool though? So as soon as they showed me that, they showed me this other. So when the light pours in, all that light is pouring in, it's coming in like waves of light.
Mm-hmm.
And when that light comes in, everywhere that those raids have destroyed something, that light is coming in and it's just like rebuilding it more magnificently. And this is something too, it seems like when they're showing me the buildings, they look very dull and gray. And when this new light comes in, the structures are different. They don't have like the hard corners on them. It feels very not necessarily globes, but it feels very soft. Like there's softer edges, and every just thing feels more soft, more inviting. Ooh, they just, I just like turned into energy, and pulled me around it. So it's the energy flows around the structures easy.
Is it a different type of material we're going to use in the future?
Mm-hmm. It is. I don't know what it is though. It's kind of. It's some of it's clear, like you can see through some of them into these beautiful like libraries. This one that I'm looking at is like it's so beautiful. I love books though, so maybe that's why they're showing me this. But it's a library and it's in the shape of a teardrop. And there's green all over the place. It's greenery on the insides of these structures, buildings. It feels like buildings. And it just feels very
Refreshing.
like very peaceful.
Yeah. Do you see any people around?
I do. And everyone seems very happy. This is like a community. It almost feels like a place of knowledge, like a place of learning where I am right now. Oh, and I'm getting that feeling again. So, scholars. I hate to use this term re-educating, but it's teaching people in a higher vibratory way. Like it's not like a re-educating to change someone's mind, but to feed that thirst of knowledge for the higher things, for this way of life and healing. They're learning healing here.
Right. Does this place seem like a future place on Earth, or a different dimension, or what?
No, this is our future here.
Wow.
Mammy Moss. Mammy Moss said, I will be an old woman before I see this, but I will see this in my life. Because she's showing me being much older and lots of wrinkles and gray hair, but I'm not, it's not like old and decrepit. I'm an elder in this community, a teacher.
Wow. Are you able to see what the road between here and there looks like?
We're right at the end of the destruction. It's gonna get nasty, but we survive it. We're strong. And we have to walk through that darkness so that we never return to it again. Everyone has to see it. They have to see it. It can't be ignored. You have to acknowledge it. You don't have to wallow in it, but you have to acknowledge it. And choose polarity. They said polarity. You have to choose. Do you want to live in this darkness? Or do you want to find the joy and live in the joy and the light?
It's our choice, right?
Yep.
So what can we do to help us through these times?
Encourage one another. Always go back to the joy, the promise.
Finding our bliss.
Mm-hmm. The joy, that joy. An old church song, I got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
That's real.
Yeah. Let our light shine.
They're showing me a sun, a beautiful sun.
Does it look like a dawn or midday or?
They showed me a sun. And they're showing like an energy wave flowing.
Is it coming from the sun?
It looks like it's just around the sun right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What color is the sun?
Looks like a deep orange. Mm-hmm. But that energy wave that keeps going around it is a really bright, almost a neon yellow.
Mm-hmm.
I see that they're trying to they just slowed it down. I don't know, it has something to do with the sun and the energy coming off the sun.
Mm-hmm. How will it affect us?
I don't know how this was going to work, but they said that it helps cleanse from the negative technology. That's how they said, negative technology. Life is going to change. That's what they said.
Will they show you what the negative technology is doing?
Oh, that's crazy. Just as soon as you... Wow. As soon as you said that, they showed me a human person, but the back of their head was all electronics. That did not look good.
Sort of merging man and machine or technology. Transhumanism.
Yeah.
So that's the path they'd like to take us down.
But that's what that purification from the sun does. It won't work. Maybe like that's like they just showed me like a red button sticking up and a hand hovering over it. So that's like the kill switch.
Mm-hmm. This energy is the kill switch for the transhumanism path.
Like before, yeah, before it gets to that point,
Mm-hmm.
they push the kill switch and the sun goes hiccup.
Okay, so is it a CME that knocks their stuff offline? Coronal mass ejection?
That's what it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make sure about that. I don't want to. That's what it puts. Some kind of disruption
Mm-hmm.
from the sun. Yeah.
And it fries electronics or something? Or their electronics that they're trying to use?
Yeah, they just keep saying disruption. There will be disruption. It feels very dark. It feels them showing me this. Feels very dark. And it looks dark.
What's the sole purpose of that agenda? Is it just to control the people? Keep them from evolving, or what?
The transhumanism?
Mm-hmm.
Just about control.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're showing me a remote control.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they show me that remote control and jacking with like controls, almost like a video game is what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And as that's happening, then I see the person that's been altered. And it's almost like a puppet. That's what the human looks like. It's like a puppet when they're doing this, it's like a puppet.
So people that have those concerns that they're trying to do these types of things are actually right, but they won't be able to get away with it.
Yeah. They showed me. Oh gosh, slow down. So they showed me the nuclear bomb, and then they showed me them doing something with the codes or something with the nuclear weapons.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
To make them
So they're
inoperable?
saying like the same way that they made the nuclear weapons inoperable, they'll make sure that because this would destroy humanity.
Mm-hmm.
And where there is an agreement that they can't come in and necessarily meddle with humans, there are addendums to the contract, whatever that means, that they can keep us from destroying ourselves, and more importantly, the planet.
That makes sense. So free will is reign, but if somebody's going to do something that would destroy the world, then they'll step in and stop it.
Okay, with the free will, yes, of course, free will, but the nuclear garbage, that wouldn't be my free will.
Right.
So they just showed me like when Maldak exploded and I was there and I felt so angry because I didn't have any control over it.
Mm-hmm.
Here we have free will. Human beings have free will, and they just said many species have free will. But we have free will. It is not my will that they destroy our planet with nuclear weapons. That is not my will. And so they're not allowed to even attempt anything like that anymore. These things get squashed. They said squashed. They show me like someone's flicking, like I see the missiles up in space, and they're like flicking them with their finger. So, uh, so things that would interfere with our free will, with the free will of humanity,
Right.
they're able to come in and cut down. So,
Because that would be like somebody's free will is allowed to intrude on someone else's. So
right. Mm-hmm.
so people can rest easy knowing that at least, you know, those sorts of threats aren't really anything to worry about anymore. Things are
Mm-hmm.
things might get dark or destructive, but it's not the end of the world.
Right, right, right. And just know that it has to be torn down. And this is something too, they just said. Fear is, how did they say this? Fear is in those that don't acknowledge that they are forever. We are forever. We cannot die.
Mm-hmm.
This physical vessel may go away, but we cannot die. And fear is for those that are dead. Those who live and always live have no fear.
Mm-hmm.
Because they know that they have nothing to fear. Mm-hmm.
Is that a way people can deal with their fear during these times then, is to tap into their, I guess, eternal nature or something during meditation? Or?
Absolutely. Sit down and get in that river of consciousness where we are, where we are. We are not here.
Mm-hmm.
Our physical being is here. There's an aspect of us, a little bit of us that's here.
Mm-hmm.
But our mass majority is just beyond. It's in the breath. Just sit down and breathe.
Yeah, the breathing has been very powerful. Is there an attack on the breathing right now with the masks? What are you seeing with that?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And the fires.
Mm-hmm. It's all
the smoke. Clouding discernment, clouding judgment, clouding. And identity.
Covering the face.
Her expression.
Your grandma's expression?
They're showing me.
Oh, the expression on people's face being hidden?
Yes. Okay, so they showed me like a person with a hand over their mouth. You know, you can't breathe and you can't speak. It's symbolic.
There is an emotional disconnect when you can't see someone's expression too, isn't there?
Yes, and they showed me the people with their arms out. There's this fear around people. We have to have contact. We have to. that's part of being human, is embracing, is physical contact, touching one another. Um, okay. Of course, energetic is healing, and many of us are feeling that now and sensing that humans need physical contact as well. And those that are pushing this agenda know that. They know that we lift one another up. It's all about the fear. That's they just showed me again the wraith being sucked across. They're trying to pull as much fear out as they can. Sadness, depression. What did they say? Like there's no use. Like, what good is anything? Desperation. It's going to be some very hard times, emotionally. That's why it's important, though, to go back into the breath. Step back into that flow. Find that joy.
Really just trying to maintain that connection through the breath.
Yes, and that's vital. They showed me a golden cord connecting. Like, we have to keep that connection plugged in. That's how kids, they showed me a plug. Plugged in. We have to stay plugged in. And it's vital now. Man, sometimes it's like they all start talking at once. Once before, we could get by with checking in on a weekly. It's very important to take at the very least 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes. Set a timer if you have to, because they showed me an egg timer. Set a timer if you have to. 5 minutes of just choosing to be. It's funny, they told me that the other morning when I woke up, choose to be.
Can that give you any insight on if it's getting easier for people to have a greater connection with their intuition and higher self?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, when you said that, it was like a dome, and like the top had just blown off, and it was just immense light. So yeah. So there's they're showing me like Earth with the magnetosphere, and it looks like, I'm not saying this is what it is, it just looks like this is how they're showing it to me, like there's a hole in it, and like there's all this energy coming in from the sun, and it's purifying everything, and every time, and they show me the DNA upgrading. This time, though, the way that they showed the DNA, it's like it's floating around. Mm. Mm. Okay, so we are ascending on a cellular level. We're changing. Mm.
Will our DNA change quicker the higher vibration we are?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because as long as you stay in that vibration, I mean, there's still free will. It's not like it's just going to take off and do it on its own. You gotta put a little into it. Some of your energy is required for
Mm-hmm.
showing me. Like you can't just sit there like a lump on a log. So uh, they're showing me like a sprinter. Not that you have to physically sprint, but that's what they're showing me, like
Mm-hmm.
movement. You gotta do something to help it out, and it's in the thought.
Mm-hmm. Attention and intention.
Yes, yes, yes. Uh,
I think a lot of times we use that in reverse on ourselves.
mm,
Focus on the chaos and all of that right now, which there's plenty of distractions.
hmm That's that's why they said it's very important to plug in every day.
Mm-hmm.
Plug into the light every day. They're like showing me show me all the devices, like computers, TVs, and cell phones, and just they're even they even showed me the washer and dryer. So like all the little distractions of life,
Mm-hmm.
turn it off for at the very least 5 minutes a day. And again, they're showing me like the kitchen timer, like set the timer, spend time
Mm-hmm.
just sitting. It doesn't matter where you are. If you have to go sit in your closet, if you have to go sit in the bathroom and lock the door. It showed me a pantry, like sitting in the pantry, like just wherever you have to go to get 5 minutes. Mm. So this is funny. So they're showing me like when I used to wait tables years ago, and they're showing me like taking a smoke break.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could have 5 minutes to go smoke a cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
You can take 5 minutes to meditate.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
It's actually enjoyable too.
Hmm. Don't smoke a cigarette while you're taking the break so you can breathe. That's what they showed me was an ashtray putting out the cigarette. Mm. And take the mask off when you do this too. If you or have to be someplace where you have to have that thing on, take it off when you do this. You need to be able to breathe. Ooh. Hmm. They're showing. Okay. So it's best to be outside under a tree. If you can be beside water, that would be like the perfect setting. So, mm.
Does water amplify or?
Oh yeah. Hmm. The way that the energy is able to flow.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
What else is important to know at this time?
We are all immensely loved. Mm. And we have mm, like they're showing me they're showing me a huge group of all different species. And they are all here supporting us. Holding up pom-poms like they're our cheerleaders.
From other star systems and stuff? Planets?
Oh yeah, from everywhere. Wow. From everywhere. And here.
Mm-hmm.
And here. Mm.
So they're on another dimensional level then? We can't see them?
They had said just beyond the veil.
Mm. Beautiful.
And that means different things to different people, but yes.
Here to assist?
Mm-hmm. There are some that already see them. They're visible to some people.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see around you now?
Mm. Mm. I see like crystal white everywhere. Mm. 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 It feels very peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
It feels very quiet. Oh, finally, because there was so much chatter before.
Mm-hmm.
All of them were wanting to talk to me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Are they able to scan your body and see if you need any healing or harmonizing or aligning or anything at all?
Mm-hmm.
Energetically or physically?
Mm. I'm inside that too. Healing center place. Mm. They put me in the cocoon tube thing of light. Mm. My heart. I can feel my heart beating. Mm.
You feel the expansion of your heart?
Mm-hmm. Like they're juicing it. Like they're sending me energy to it. Mm. Mm. Got that light as swirling all around me and even through me. It feels like the energy is running through me. Mm. It's beautiful though. It's like almost looks like a rainbow. Like light around me. Mm. Mm. And the energy is very, very, very intense.
Just allow it to flow through you and enjoy that feeling. Wonderful peace and love. Feel your chakras glowing, shining outward, broadcasting that perfect light out.
They're working on my solar plexus. I see bright light shining around it now. Like it looks like a seesaw, like tottering. I think they're trying to bring it into balance. Like it had slowed down, like a top, and it starts to slow down and it starts to wobble when it's going faster because I sped it up and it's
stabilized.
Yeah, that's interesting. Attachments. They said it had something to do with attachments. When they did that, there was a flashlight from my solar plexus up to my heart.
Was there anything else that needs to be done to that attachment? Is that an issue that's been resolved, or?
It's resolving. It's like a new contract has been signed.
The old contract no longer serves you?
Yeah, because like this contract is short and sweet, they said. Not necessarily the time, but it's no fluff. So it's a simplified contract.
Is there any special information you need to know about this new contract?
I no longer have to send energy there, like that person won't feed off of me anymore. That sense of servitude that I had is gone.
Let's send light and healing to that area. Harmony. Strength. Are all of your other chakras glowing bright?
Yeah, and now the solar plexus and the heart are in the right place now and spinning like they're supposed to.
Can we find out why your hands get really hot? Do you have some type of healing ability or anything?
Mm-hmm. Mm. It's a very sensitive area.
Mm-hmm.
Energetically, I know these things, but physically, I needed to know it.
Mm-hmm.
Feel the realness. Mm. He said, "We understand you are but human."
Can they give you a little glimpse of how you use this ability, this gift, in the future? Show you.
Mm. For now, it helps bring others' vibration frequencies up. I can send a person a frequency that can help to raise their frequency up. Sort of like Reiki, but it's to show them that they can vibrate like that,
Mm-hmm.
and to teach them to take that vibration themselves, to do it for themselves. That it's not my responsibility to raise their frequency and keep it there, hold it, or anything like that. But they're showing me teaching to raise the frequency.
Mm-hmm.
I can provide that rise in frequency, and it can heal some things. But if that person doesn't take that energy boost and nourish it,
Mm-hmm.
then they'll be back in the sickness again. They have to take it and nourish it. But that is my job, is to share it, to show them, to teach them what they can.
I got this little image kind of going back to your last session of the bell ringing, and it's like you were getting people's bells ringing and then they keep it going. It's like you sort of get them ringing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ringing is actually what does the healing for the people if they can resonate. Sort of the picture I got.
Like singing bowls.
Mm-hmm. So you can help people get to ringing, and then that's a lot easier once it's already ringing, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like a boost.
Mm-hmm.
Like jumping off a car battery. That's what they show me. Like
Yeah.
jumping off a car battery.
Mm-hmm.
I can give them a boost, but they got to get their alternator working.
Are these people that just come across your path, or?
Mm-hmm. And they're showing me like a path,
Mm-hmm.
and people are brought to me. I have to listen.
Mm-hmm.
Because not always people will reach out. They're afraid.
Mm-hmm.
I have to I have to get past feeling like I'm intruding,
Mm-hmm.
and share my gift. It's not mine to keep, it's mine to give away.
Is there anything you can do to hone this gift?
Keep doing doing what I'm doing, and meditating and the vibes, moving the energy around with the yoga.
So it's unfolding naturally.
They're showing me, they're confirming your plan, Shane, because they showed me a computer screen and it's got all of us on the screen conversing, sharing with like-minded, encouraging one another, sharing energy like that. Oh well. So from that screen of us, they showed me all these lines coming off the screen, connecting to other people. So when we come together and we share like that, whew, getting chills. When we come together and we share our energy, because we tend to vibrate higher, even if one of us is having a bad day, we bring that other one right back up. And that it's like a ball of energy. And when we separate from one another, then our cups are full and overflowing, and we can go share with others. Community is important. That's it.
Because we energize one another.
Yeah, not that any one of us takes away from the other, but when we all come together, it's just like an amplification. We amplify one another.
It's almost like an energetic support system as well, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Holding one another up.
Yeah.
What else is important to know at this time?
They showed me. This is the future that we're building. This is how we get to there. There's all these little pockets of, I hate to say light workers because that can be used in so many different terms, but that's what I'm going to say. When we get all of the healers and the light workers together, there's little pockets of us forming all over the place. And as we come together and that light is amplified, where two or more are gathered.
Yeah.
Oh, my hands are just a buzz. That's what it is. We amplify one another and then we go and share it. Oh.
It really is beautiful. So many people feel alone, but there's so many little pockets like this of loving people.
Yes. Don't be afraid to reach out.
There's a lot out there. Is it necessary, or will there be a time when we all sort of find each other and connect, complete the grid? So we're starting to do that now. So they showed me. So when they locked us all down, and I thought they were separating us, and you know, it's like I like this little villain guy standing over here going, hee, I got him now, kind of thing, like a little cartoon is what it looks like. And like he split us all up, and we couldn't
they thought that we were going to not be able to be as strong because they split us up, especially with the churches. Though I may not be religious, that's where a lot of people find their connection is in the church. And and they thought that they were going to like some evil mastermind plan, but we all just became stronger and started seeking one another out on the internet. And they're showing me there have been so many connections made. Even through the lockdown, there have been so many new connections made because more people had time on their hands. They were curious and they went looking. Like they're showing me people with binoculars, like they're looking, like people went searching for this connection because they were looking for something.
So it really has provided an opportunity for a lot of people.
Yes, it has.
Is there a way these little communities are going to start reaching out to each other to complete the grid?
I just see little lights coming on all over the place, little points of light all over. And they're all forming lines, connecting. I would say yes, because that's what it looks like. And it's not just one light. Like they've shown me this before, but now it's not just one light in one place and one light in another. It's little clusters of lights that are lighting up in places.
So, do we need a physical connection with these other groups, or is it more of an intention or a vibration? Do we just need to vibrate in the same loving manner, or do we actually have to make a physical connection and know about other groups?
Physical connections are good, but not necessarily needed, not necessity. But they are good for humans to. There's much shared in a human connection, in a physical connection, in a touch, in an embrace. That's not necessary. Not necessary.
Well, this current.
There's the love connections. They're showing me two hearts. Okay, two heart energies. But these people are from a distance, but the energies are still connecting. Because time and space is but an illusion. It's a human thing. You can go past that. It does take practice, but you can go past that. Oh gosh, they're talking straight to you. They said, Shane, you can see and share images with those that you do sessions with. It's the same way that the heart shares space. Physical is good, but it's not necessary because we have that ability to surpass time and space with our energy.
Yeah, it was almost that flash right then as you were saying that of all they're really doing is highlighting the illusion of separation that's not real anyway. It's almost like they're just kind of rebranding something that's not real in a way to make it feel more real, the separation.
Yeah, but there's no such thing. The same as we communicate with our beings, we communicate with one another.
Mm-hmm.
Practice. They said there will come a time when this is the norm.
Specifically, what is the norm?
Communicating at a distance. Sharing that energy, even at a distance. And even with more clarity.
Are you meaning
like telecommunication?
Telecommunication or telepathy?
Both. It's like they're showing me talking, but that's weird. Okay, so they're showing me like waves coming out of the mouth, but they're showing me waves coming from like your third eye from your head. And like they've got just person here and person here just like coming out, and like they converge and go to that other person.
So it's almost like a hybrid communication. I think that's already happening a little bit, isn't it?
That's why they said one day this way that things are being communicated will be the norm. Everyone will do this. When barriers are no longer necessary.
Mental barriers?
Yeah. Emotional. They showed me like a cage around our heart, like an armor. Like when we no longer feel like we have to be guarded. Because when we're all vibrating at that frequency of love, and all we have is love for one another, honest, true love, unconditional love, then we won't have that feeling that we need to be guarded or that we need to be protected from others' energies or anything like that. When we're sovereign, truly sovereign, so they're showing me like two people with their auras, and like one person is not trying to take energy from the other or anything. There's not that battle there. They're both sovereign beings and in their light will feel safe to communicate this way.
Will that be a quick transition? Is that going to take a long time?
Shane, time does not exist.
That's funny. I heard that right before you said it. Time is irrelevant.
That's yep. Yeah.
It does seem.
I don't get the feeling that is gonna. I don't think it's gonna take. Like I get the feeling that I'll see this.
Will the hybrid sort of talking and telepathy together, will that move into just the telepathy only communication at some point? Is this just like a transition into that?
I get the feeling that it'll be more of a choice, like It feels like we learned that communicating with words is restricted, that there'll be more feeling, more emotion
Mm-hmm.
in the way that we're able to communicate. It feels more of a full body kind of communication
Mm-hmm.
than just words or even thoughts. Because it feels like it's a more intense way of communicating. Mm.
And more necessary in a love or heart-based society too, I would think.
Mm-hmm. It almost, I don't, like this is kind of what they're showing me. Like they show me like eating chocolate cake, and like I can tell you I had a piece of chocolate cake. Like I can tell you that with my words, but what they're showing me is that the way that we will be communicating is that I won't just tell you I had a piece of chocolate cake. When I show you, then you will sense the sweetness and the texture and the smell and the taste, and you'll like experience it the same way that I experienced it. That's the form of communication that we're going to have.
It really takes, a one-word description or one-word label for something into an experience
Yes.
when you communicate. That could be really powerful.
Mm-hmm. A more authentic form of communication. That's what they just said. Mm.
I just felt like it's just not feasible in this current reality with advertising, though, is it?
Um, it it goes back to the being guarded, feeling guarded, and
That's why, isn't it?
um, hmm
Because we're always trying to be taken advantage of.
hmm yes, yes, this environment that we live in now is, they like showed me a person with spears
Mm-hmm.
coming up. That's what we feel like is like we're always being bombarded by something that we feel like, we need to put our shields up.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So we really
It's
need that
kind
to
of,
change first.
yes, because it's dulled down the senses. Like it's in, okay, this is funny. It's like we've put ourselves in a Faraday cage.
Mm.
So we've blocked ourselves off from all that energy. In doing so, we've also blocked ourselves off from those loving vibrations.
Mm.
Hmm. And let me ask them. That's why human connection is so important, because so many have an energy shield up. They don't even like it's just not, they don't even realize that they do it, that they've put up an energy shield. And that's why sometimes it's hard to meet those people on a heart level. It's difficult to send that energy and raise those frequencies. They have to make a conscious choice. We as humans at this point have to make a conscious decision to drop that shield to allow others in. to share energy. And that's why the human connection is so important to many, because they don't even realize they have those shields up. Have you ever hugged someone before, and as soon as you took them in your arms, you just felt this release in them?
Mm-hmm.
It that's that shield that they didn't even realize that they had up. And when you can hug that person, that's a great honor, because they feel safe in your arms to do that. Mm. Mm. Mm.
I guess it's harder for some to let go in that way.
Mm-hmm. Life is not easy, they said.
Mm-hmm.
It's made people rigid, some people, but that's what they're working on right now, is with that separation, that division, keeping people apart from one another. Mm. Mm. We have to make a greater effort in these times to break through that barrier, that shield. Mm. Mm. So for a long time, I think they're speaking directly to me. As an empath, I have a tendency to be a recluse. I don't like going out. I try to stay to myself, and they're showing me many others too, that are like me do this. Try to, we don't like going out because the way it makes us feel. And they're showing me right now is very important that we break out of the shield that we've put around us, and reach out to others, because we have a gift. And right now we need to be sharing it, because the world needs that light. We are those that are chosen, like it or not. We've been chosen. This is our mission. We have to embrace others.
I wonder if we can get any insight into that wonderful synchronicity you got for the 40 days of fireworks. Is there anything else we can expect during that time or beyond that?
Mm. Yeah, I see pops of light. I wonder if that's good or bad.
Enjoy the
Right.
show.
Yeah.
Isn't
Okay,
that
so
the
I'm gonna
point?
be popcorn.
That's the point,
Like,
right? We can see fireworks or we can see bombs. It's really kind of how we look
yeah,
at it, right?
yeah, yeah. Um, I'm seeing a very joyous time, though. Like it looks like, uh, when my kids were young, we lived in a little town in New Mexico called Eunice. Little bitty town. Not even a stoplight in this town.
Venus? Like the planet?
Eunice.
Oh,
No,
Eunice.
Eunice.
Okay.
Eunice. It was a very, very small town. Everybody knows everybody. Most of those people grew up together, and they do a Fourth of July event. And it was so much fun. And kids would be out, just all the kids out playing in the park, and people just walking around talking, hugging one another, shaking hands, barbecuing, eating, just having a good time. But there was community. That word again, community. Okay. So they're just showing me the energy that was coming off of those people. None of them necessarily light workers or anything like that, just people loving one another, sharing a good time. There's this glow above them. That's what they were trying to take away from us.
So is it an instance where if enough of us keep our glow and our happiness and our bliss, it will extend to the others around us at some point?
Yeah, it's contagious.
Yeah.
But we got to get past this fear of the sickness.
Mm-hmm.
We're stronger than that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to continue on for a while, you think?
I don't get that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Not with what they're showing me, because it doesn't feel like this is like they showed me that event from when my kids were young and we were on the park with that. But it feels like now, like this is happening now more and more. I think so. They're showing me like a split screen, and like you've got the media and people that listen to certain media that are living in so much fear. It's just it feels heavy
Because there's an
on
uncertainty
me.
with it. Yeah.
And then on this other screen, they're showing me the party, the 40 days in the park, and every day is the 4th of July, and people dancing, people touching, people celebrating. That's what the song says.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they're showing me. And the polarity again.
Mm-hmm.
There's those that are going to live in the fear, and there's those that don't live in the fear. And there has to be this polarity because there has to be the breaking point, and you have to make the choice. Are you going to live masked and
in fear?
in fear?
Yeah.
Yes. And shut up, suffocated. Or are you going to say, no, my light is greater than that, and live in that love and that joy and that celebration?
So does this have to do with the sign I got with saying we should be pointed in the right direction for when the energy gives us a shove, we want to head on to the love and the bliss and the joy, 40 days of fireworks and having a great time rather than the fear. So
And everything again, free will. It's your choice. It's kind of like they're standing there like with their hands open in front of me going, it's your choice. Choose. You know? And if you choose to be in fear, then that's a cycle that you will have to go through again.
what about the line that divides those that are in fear from those that are, sort of right there? Maybe they've just maybe they're teeter-tottering a little bit. Are we helping those people, or what can we say to help those people?
That's why we have to get out of our own way and break through. That's why the light workers, those of us who are vibrating higher, the healers, the light workers, the seers, the mediums, those that understand this energy have got to start reaching out, because those people will
Reassuring.
those those people are going to be brought into, when they show me the path, those people that are teeter-tottering are the ones that are going to be brought into your path. That's why there are so many of us, and why so many of us can help them as well, because they're like showing me this path, and then there's all these people that are just popping in here and there. Those are the ones that are teeter-tottering. Those are the ones that need you to reach out and take their hand and say, I got you.
Mm-hmm. Is that why some of us have been gifted with seeing a little bit more through the illusion?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So they're showing me those waves again, the waves of people. And so they're reminding me, okay, so the last time they told us that there would be waves come through. And these waves started so many years ago, and they were just really small. And there'd just be like a little ripple. And Edgar Casey, Tesla, these types that could see beyond and knew beyond, and they were just little waves. And now we are having like tsunami style waves of people coming in, because as soon as I said that, they showed me the metaphysical hole in the magnetosphere with the energy flowing through to us. It's they showed me like it looked like a clock going flat, and like the solar system, the galaxy, and like it's a time. We're coming to a time.
A cosmic cycle of some sort.
This happens. So this happens, and we're at that time. They're saying like, and it's not the first time it's happened on this planet. We're not special. We may be special, but we're not special. This happens. It just happens. It seems, because they flashed that big setting again with the multiverse, it seems this time is different in some way. I think beyond what I can comprehend, because it seems this is a multi-dimensional kind of thing, a multi-universe thing. And I don't know that always happens. Maybe, let me see. It would seem to humans that this in particular change would be rare. Not unheard of, or not that it's never happened before, but it is rare. Okay. They said that's what all those timelines were about.
The glasses that were getting closer together, the sheets of glasses.
So though these changes happen often, this one is like the big one is what they're like. This is a big one. So it feels like my crown is just completely open, and like there's everything there. Like everything that ever was or ever will be is there. That's what it feels like. Like this is a very big deal. And exciting and terrifying all in one.
But isn't it supposed to be that way?
Yes.
Isn't it the most exciting way it could be?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like that feeling that you get when you're at the top of the roller coaster and it's about to crest over.
Right. The intensity that's just before us. Yeah. A little scary, a little intense, but we'll be okay in the end.
Oh, yeah. They just said, enjoy the ride.
So really the best thing we can do to enjoy the ride is just stay out of fear, keep our bliss, spread our love, and be there for people around us. And what else? What else will come in handy at this time?
Lots of love.
Lots of love.
Just relax. I keep saying just relax. Dance. Dance. Relax. Breathe.
So seriously, but don't take it too seriously. It's a serious thing happening, but don't take it too seriously.
It's a big deal that this is happening. But again, they said, but we are forever. But we are forever. So it feels like I don't know why, but it feels like this is only the second time that this has happened on this scale. And that's why they say it's so rare. Maybe that's why this is so very intense. But I feel very warm. I feel very safe.
So from where these guides are, we're home free.
They're showing me the polarity of things. And so the energy of a person is just part of a bigger energy. And so like a magnet, there's a North Pole and a South Pole. And those poles, push one another apart. Well, it's the same way with this huge energy. And for some reason, I get the feeling that there's going to be a balance in the polarity. So it's almost like there's just little bits of, the way that I'm seeing is little bits of energy, like you said, those that are teeter-tottering, like right there, like just little bits of energy, and there's people, energy finding its way where it needs to be. And not that the negative polarity is necessarily bad, it's just experience. And so that polarity that's there, those that are there in that negative, they just are. And it's an experience that they have to have
It's necessary for growth.
Mm-hmm. Basically, they're showing me everything balances out in the end. Cyclical.
Mm-hmm. It almost seems like fighting against it is futile, or any attempt to stop it only seems to accelerate it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I see, it's like, it's amazing.
They showed me put your shades on, sit back and ride. That's the
Very good
image they
analogy.
gave me. Mm-hmm. They're showing me a lot of light though, so
Pouring into the planet, a lot of light.
just all around me right now, wherever I am, there's it almost looks like holographic crystals floating around is what it looks like. It's beautiful.
What color is this light? Is it golden like the other?
The majority, like the background light is golden, but the little crystals are like purples and blues and pinks. Safe place. They said safe place.
Is there anything else they need to show you, or would like to show you, or tell you, or anyone else that we need to talk with?
I don't believe so.
Is there anything else from your grandma?
She just said, I love you.
Well, let's see if there's any other clearing or healing or anything else. Were they done with your chakras and your body and everything? Awesome.